Hello and welcome to the Sewing Whisperer and another episode in the Essential Seams playlist. In today's beginner-friendly tutorial, you'll learn how to sew 3 different types of darts and try out 4 different finishing techniques. If this is your first time here, don't forget to check out the other seam tutorials in the series. Each one builds your skills step by step, whether you're brand new to sewing or brushing up on the basics. Want to sew along with me? There's a free downloadable pattern linked in the description below. What are darts and why do you need them? Darts are used in woven fabrics to help garments hug and mould to the body. They're traditionally triangular sections sewn with specific design locations to shape flat fabric around curves. Unlike knits which stretch, woven fabrics need darts to contour smoothly over the bust, waist, hips and shoulders. Types of darts. You'll find darts in all kinds of garments. Let's look at the most common type. Bust darts, the most common dart. In pattern making, you'll learn how to manipulate these darts to reposition them around the bodice. Contour darts or double-ended darts. These travel from the bust to the hip, creating a body-hugging silhouette. They're made of 2 triangles joined at the widest point. French darts, popular in the 1960s shift dresses. These can be curved or straight. Waist darts, found in skirts and trousers, including the back dart in men's trousers that often reach the pocket. Elbow darts add movement and shaping to sleeves. Back shoulder darts. These shape the fabric over the shoulder blade, creating a smooth fit across the back. Anatomy of a dart. Let's break down the parts of a dart using a diagram. You have dart legs, the stitched lines forming the side of the dart, dart volume or intake, the fabric wedge that is removed, apex, the point of the dart which align with the body's curve, example bust or shoulder blade. Let's take a look at how you would mark a dart generally. So when I was working in industry, the industry that I worked with liked to mark our darts in this manner. So we would put a notch, which was just a line, at the start of the dart on each end, and then we would put what was known as a drill hole, 5 millimeters or 3/16 of an inch back from the point of the dart, and that would get drilled through the fabric and become a hole. Now that's fast fashion. Of course, slow fashion, you don't have to damage your fabric in that way, so you could mark it with a pin or just mark it with your marking pen. That's the way you would mark it to start with, but when you're first learning, that's not enough information. If you've never sewn a dart before, you need a little bit more information. I like to sew the dart as a curve. I never sew it as a straight line. And the reason I do that is because the bust, if you think of the circle of the bust, so if this was a bust dart, the curving of the bust needs to go in slightly and then back out, almost like a flat S shape. When you're sewing that, I like to come inside that straight line, and then it's almost like a pin tuck at the end, coming out to the very dart point. So because of that, I've actually given you some cardboard shapes to trace around to mark your darts. After a while, and when you've sewn many darts, you won't need that template. You'll know how to sew the dart and what direction to go for a curve. I had a lot of students when they were first learning sew their darts like the green line that goes outside the dart line and hooks back in at the end. Let's look at a dart being sewn in this manner. It's impossible to make the dart sit nicely at the apex when sewn this way. So if we have a look at the double-ended dart, once again in trade I was taught we used to put a drill hole in the center, and then the operator would know that the dart width was whatever distance, 1.5 or 5/8 of an inch, and then we would put our drill hole 0.5 down. Now if this is your first time ever sewing a double-ended dart, you really need more information. So once again I have produced a tracing template that's the shape of that blue line. So you would always sew this rounded off at the waist, so this would be the waist area. You don't sew it to a point because the body doesn't go to a point, it's curved. And then you would sew it in up to the bust point, and you would sew it in coming down to the hip line or near the upper hip area on a skirt. The next dart that we're going to be producing is the French dart. Once again, in tray we would have marked it with the notches and the drill hole, but I've given you a template for this curved line. So a French dart can be curved or it can be a straight dart. Just giving you a brief rundown of the patterns that have been included for this tutorial. So to start with, there is the wedge dart, and I've marked the notches and the drill holes. So then you can trace off this template in cardboard that's the same shape and trace around it. You could even, for a practice, just use a very fine pencil to trace around it, or you can use a marking pen of some sort. The same goes for the double-ended dart. You've got your cutting template here and you can trace around it to get that blue line shape for sewing. And for the French dart, I've given you this tracing template. You would lay that over the top of the French dart. Make sure you do mark the notches and the drill holes so you know where to align this when you're going to put it over the top of your cut pattern piece. Sewing a wedge dart. This type is common at the bust, waist, shoulder and elbow. Let's look at the steps to do this. Cut and mark the notches and drill hole. Trace the curve along the provided template. This ensures accuracy. Fold the dart along the centre, matching notches and the apex. Pin at the start, middle and apex. Before we sew the dart, let's look at 4 ways to finish a dart. There's some debate around how to sew the apex of a dart. Let's look at 4 common techniques. Method 1, sew off the end. Always start at the widest part of the dart and sew to the apex. For this finishing method, keep sewing past the point and let the threads twist. Trim, leaving a 2 cm or 3/4 of an inch tail. The second method, back tack neatly at the apex, a common fast fashion method. Method 3, back tack inside the volume of the dart, avoids puckering at the point. Method 4, leave thread tails and tie a knot at the end of the dart. This is much more of a slow fashion technique. Try them all and see which one works best for your project. Press the dart down. This reduces dust build-up during wear and washing. Waist darts are pressed towards the centre front or centre back to create a smooth line. With practice, you'll no longer need the template. You'll develop an eye for the perfect dart curve. Sewing a double-ended diamond dart. Cut and mark the drill holes at both ends. Trace the curve using the template. Fold the dart from the top to the bottom. Pin the dart at the top, bottom and centre. Slow fashion method. Sew from the widest point to the apex at one end, then repeat to the other end. Fast fashion method. Start at one end with a very clean back tack, sew through the widest point and down to the other apex using a technique of your choosing to finish. Press the dart towards the centre front or centre back. For this sample, either is fine. Sewing a French dart. Cut and mark the notches and drill hole. Trace the curve using the provided pattern. Pin the dart together, ensuring curved lines align. Pin through the apex. Stitch from the base to the apex. Finish with your preferred technique. Press the dart upwards. It sits more smoothly that way due to its curve. And that's a wrap on darts. Today you've learned what darts do, how to sew them accurately, and how to finish them professionally. Whether you're shaping a bodice, sleeve, or skirt, darts make magic happen. Up next in the Essential Seams playlist, we'll be tackling different ways to sew hems. Let me know in the comments, do you have a favourite dart type or a project where darts made all the difference? Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. See you next time on The Sewing Whisperer.